Greetings and happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to the Ancient Forest, where we are making our way for awesome rewards, as well as I actually did do quite a bit of grinding in the Ancient Forest and can kind of vouch for it. I hadn't done that in past playthroughs, but the experience actually isn't that bad in the Ancient Forest. So if you are looking for a place just to kind of fill the level gap in between the Northern Cave and maybe going to like the Crash Jelnika or something like that, the Ancient Forest actually isn't that bad when it comes to experience, especially in regards to also AP for your materia growth. But for all the people that I am boring, welcome back to Final Fantasy VII. We are continuing through a bunch of bonus content before we actually go to the Northern Cave and confront Sephiroth. But before we do that, we're going to take advantage of the fact that you can become a really overpowered SOB in this game. You absolutely can. All you have to do is just go to all the bonus areas. I would actually say it's probably a little bit more overpowered than what people are used to in previous Final Fantasy games. The only one that I could say that's probably not the case might be 5. I don't know. In 6, you don't feel as overpowered in 6 as you do in, say, 7. So here we go. Oh, yay, we got a frog. We needed that frog. Why do we need that frog, you may ask? Because we're going to toss it into there and continue to make our way past. Now, you might see a little piece of yellow materia off in the far right corner. This is the /all materia, and we want to be able to get it because it's going to be very helpful later on, and it does just as it implies. It allows for one character to slash or basic attack everything on the screen. Now, just imagine giving that to somebody like Cloud. It would be pretty insane, especially considering that he is pretty much capped at this point. He is level 99. There is no higher that you can go. And these guys are the only ones that can dodge frickin' Meteor Rain. I think they don't dodge Finishing Touch, but really makes me wish I had. Well, actually, no. I wish I didn't have his final limit because it's all damage-based. So yeah, we are continuing on in our side questing to be able to finish up Final Fantasy VII, and actually, we're pretty much done. You guys can look forward to maybe a few more parts, and then, thankfully, we will be past Final Fantasy VII. It only took us, 60-plus parts to be able to do it. And I wish I could say that the parts are going to be less. I don't think they will be for future titles, because we'll have to do some grinding for those as well, and they all have pretty big stories in their own right. So yeah, that's going to be definitely a thing we'll have to look forward to over the years. Starting with Final Fantasy VIII. I don't think 8 will be that big. As long as you do everything right, then you could pretty much cruise through a majority of the story and then have to worry about things like grinding. Now, people might have noticed that I did a little magic cut right there, and it's because I got sick and tired of that Venus flytrap damaging me. So, in turn, what I'm going to do is what you're actually supposed to do. You have to wait until this platform that we're standing on starts to digest, which will bounce us over to this honeycomb. Then, you use the honeycomb on the Venus flytrap, and that allows for us to get the /all materia. Basically, what I cut out was like 20 minutes of me just constantly getting damaged by the Venus flytrap. I figure you guys saw plenty of that in the previous part, so no reason to bring up that again. But like I was saying, yeah, so Final Fantasy VIII, we might be able to get away with less parts, but only in the fact that if you do everything right, you can pretty much cruise through the story, and a lot of your endgame grinding is pretty much what you'll be doing. But it's been a while, and I'm still making my way through that game, so don't count my word for it just yet. But I am going to also answer a quick Final Fantasy question that I've gotten over the years, but I figure we might as well answer it again. So, are you going to do games like Final Fantasy 15 in the legacy of Final Fantasy? Yes. My plan right now is to do 8 next, do 9, then do 10, and we're going to bypass 11 for the moment, because 11 was an MMO, and so it's got a lot of content to it. I'm not even, like, I was actually I think the original plan was, as soon as the Tale of Drak was done, at least for a while, then I would take a break and I would go work on either Final Fantasy XI or Star Wars The Old Republic, with probably a preference on Final Fantasy XI. Well, wait, why would you want to do that? We're on 7. You would obviously wait until past 10, right? Well, the stories aren't connected, so it doesn't necessarily matter in that regard. We can get away with it, and it doesn't necessarily matter. The next one on the official list would be 12. We're going to do 12, and it's going to be the PS4 version that kind of simplifies a lot of the weird features in the PS2 version that I really didn't like. So we're going to do that. And yes, we will be doing 13. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing all of the sequels. Kind of like I'm not sure about doing things like Crisis Core or Dirge of Cerberus. I'm not sure yet. If we do that, I'll keep you guys updated. I would like to be able to do the sequels, but again, it's a time issue. And in case you guys haven't heard this for the bajillionth time, I have 2 kids now, and time is really a factor at this point. So we'll get to it when we can get to it. But yeah, the next one will be 12 on that list, then 13. 14 is another MMO, so we'll bypass that, and we'll go straight to 15. Hopefully by then, I will have actually beaten 15. You know, actually found the time to be able to go do it. But that is the plan. And in the meantime, if we get past 15, then that would be probably when I take on some of the sequels. Doing, for example, like Final Fantasy IV The After Years, or going back into Final Fantasy VII for Crisis Core. Or maybe even going and doing Final Fantasy X-2. Originally, the plan was to do X-2 in place of 11. But I've kind of thought better of it. I think it would just be better to stick to the Roman numeral line and then eventually go back to them. So if we do it, X-2 would happen at that point. We could also do... We could go into the other 2 13 games, and maybe even to the 15 DLC? I don't know. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I'm kind of playing this as I go, especially in regards to life constantly changing from year to year. So you definitely have to rethink things as you go along. Not because I'm trying to be mean, but because life is ever changing. You know, we had 1 kid, now we have 2. Jobs can change. Priorities in life can change. So that's really kind of the only thing that can destroy the whole deal. But for Final Fantasy VIII, I actually do have a little bit of a surprise that is going to happen when that debuts. However, I am going to go ahead and give you guys a quick little update as to the rest of the year, which is we are going to finish Final Fantasy VII this year. I have all of the footage recorded, and it will be up very soon. We, however, are not going to go right into Final Fantasy VIII, mainly because of the surprise that I have to show you guys. We're going to go into Final Fantasy VIII probably at the beginning of the year, or when I come back from my holiday break. Because I am going to be taking a holiday break. Wait, Drak, you've taken so many breaks this year. Yeah, I know. But for having 2 kids, that's kind of expected at this point. Like, the priority here isn't necessarily my YouTube channel, it is feeding my kids. And it's nothing against you guys. I love my community, especially the community of Final Fantasy fans that watch these videos. I really do appreciate those, but I do have to kind of reprioritize things, and in the grand scheme of things, my kids are more important than a video game. So that's the way that's gonna go, and I'm sorry about that. Well, sorry, but not sorry. Like, I love my kids too. And right now I'm just killing time as we continue to go through the ancient forest and get whatever secrets we can from it. We already have, like, one of the best materia that you can get out of this area, but there are actually a lot of awesome secrets here, including the last summon materia that we need. And people might be going, well, why does that matter? One of the things that you can do in this game, I haven't really gone into it until now, is you can master materia. As long as you have maxed out, say, like, and you can only do it for 3 types. There are technically 5 types in the game. Only 3 can be mastered. The yellow type, which is command materia, can be mastered, and you just have to master materia that is of the commands that the master command has. So, for example, steal, throw, death blow, I think is in there, mime is in there. And then you get a master command materia, which gives you all the commands. So you can do that. The other two are the magic materia. So if you master all the magic materia in the game, you basically get a materia that gives you every spell in the game. And then the third is master summon, which gives you access to every single summon in the game at its highest power. So at that point, you do need to collect all of these summon materia. And it just so happens that if you don't pay attention, say to like your chocobo breeding or to getting into the ancient forest or the Krasjelnika, you will not get every single summon materia. Or the other one that I pointed out earlier on in the game, if you didn't pay attention when you went and did the chocobo races, and you go into that common room, there's a summon materia in there. I think it will let you back in, but yeah, you need to get that too. And after you master all of that materia, which is a lengthy process, you then get the master summon materia, which is every single summon in the game on one materia at highest power. So we want to be able to do that because it makes you super, super powerful. But Drak, why don't you want additional challenge? I already did an additional challenge. We're having fun. We're just going to max characters out if we possibly can. I'm not saying that it happens for every single game, but I try to do it as best I can. That's how much I love the series, is that I've actually gone and done that homework, and I've done it myself. The only one I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do is when we get to Final Fantasy IX. This is another question that I've actually gotten, is are you going to play Final Fantasy IX in its original form, or are you going to play the snazzy PS4 version, which actually lets you speed up a lot of the gameplay elements? The reason that it allows you to speed things up is one of the final weapons in that game requires you to have played the game for a minimum of 20 hours. If you go over that, you don't get access to the item. And here's the thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to meet that, and I want to be able to give you guys the original experience. So I'm not sure, but right now the plan is that we're going to be doing the version that was put up on the PS3, which doesn't allow for speed up. So I don't know, maybe I'll put up a picture of the weapon that you can actually get. It is for the character Steiner. Or, if we're lucky enough, maybe we will be able to get that weapon and I can do it with minimal time. I don't know. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest with you guys. I'm not really planning on it, and maybe I will go back later and do a bonus episode on the PS4 version just to show you guys like how to get it. Because I have done it, but it is difficult to do, and it's pretty much at the end of the game. If you want to be able to get that weapon, it's fairly into it, so you really do flirt with that time limit. You get really close to it, and so I want to be able to give you guys that, but I don't know. So that's going to be a thing, and I'm not even worrying about that right now. I'm worrying about getting through 7 and then getting to 8. But like I said, 8 will be at the beginning of next year. You guys will start seeing parts of that, and we'll start going through it together. I'm hoping to be able to do the 1 part a week formula still, but I'm not sure. There's going to be a lot of changes to my channel, and you guys will be getting a schedule update very soon, basically saying like why I haven't come back to regular schedule. And hopefully that'll be able to explain a lot of that stuff to you guys. But I'm also going to be taking a holiday break, and I'm going to be announcing that too, because I am burnt out. I've been working my butt off. I know it doesn't look like it, but I've been working my butt off pretty hard since my second daughter was born on various projects, and I'm just looking forward to a month where I don't have to pick up things like social media. I don't have to pick up things that are not family oriented. I'm looking forward to Christmas with my family. I love you guys too, and I love and appreciate all of you, and I wish you all happy holidays. But this is for me, especially since this is the week this is coming up on the week of Thanksgiving, so at that point, yeah, I'm spending time with family on Thanksgiving and enjoying that. But yeah, I hate to say it, there are going to be a little bit of changes coming to the channel, and I hope that doesn't bother too many people. I have a feeling some will be, and I don't know what to tell you. Aside from I am sorry. It's just the way it goes. Okay, so finally we can go to the other side of the ancient forest. I think this is the last little stretch, and we have pretty much every major piece of materia that I wanted to get. As well as weapons, as well, because the other thing too that you can get here that's really helpful is, I think I've explained materia growth in a previous part, but it's tied to the weapons and armor that you use. And there are only 2 weapons, so most of the stuff will go to either normal growth. There is a nothing, which is applied to pretty much every final weapon. So, like, the ultimate weapon that I'm using right now is not granting any AP to any of the materia. Then there's normal growth, which is just whatever you get. And some weapons and armor have double growth, which is just doubling the number. However, there is a possibility of getting triple growth. If you get triple growth, it's only on 2 weapons in the game. One can be obtained, I believe... It's in the... I believe it's the one in the Junin sub-base. You can get that one, and so at that point, it's a spear for Sid. And you could start having him use his triple growth weapon to improve your materia. The other one is a sword that can be obtained in the ancient forest, a sword by the name of Apocalypse. As soon as you get it, Cloud can then, from there on in, give triple growth on a weapon, and there technically is a piece of armor that can do double growth. So, basically what I'm saying is if you want to grind materia really well, then you grab these weapons, and you have Sid and Cloud in your party, and then you also give them those armors that give double growth, which are actually obtained fairly early in the game and are pretty weak. So keep in mind, if you're going to be materia grinding, Sid and Cloud are going to take massive hits a lot of the time. And that's kind of part of the risk. But in the long run, it's worth it because then you can master materia quicker. Way quicker. It's kind of insane how quick. All right, now that we've got that, I don't know what the heck I'm doing here, but, oh, yeah, that's right, okay. I am waiting until it digests, and boom! And that's how I get over to the other side. But I also want to be able to do this, because you technically can't jump over to the other side. You need a frog, so when it digests, you can just bounce out at the other side. Like so. So there you go. Walk through this cave, and this actually, I believe, is where you get Apocalypse. Yep, so there is the weapon Apocalypse. The only triple growth weapon Cloud can get in his arsenal, and Sid gets the only other one, which is the Scimitar. So just think about that. Like, having the weapon be triple growth, having your armor be double growth. Yeah, you consistently kind of bust through materia, and if you've been leveling consistently up until this point, there probably isn't too much materia left to level, so that's very helpful, and you could focus on the bigger numbers. Now we're going to make a quick stop. Nanaki, it's really bad. Ever since Bugenhagen returned from that last trip, he doesn't seem well. Uh-oh. Why don't you hurry and see Bugenhagen? Okay. Well, that doesn't sound good. So, basically, when he came back from... first of all, how did he get back from the City of the Ancients? He wasn't with us when we went to Midgar. Maybe we went off and picked him up and dropped him back off. So, yeah, so ever since he went to the City of the Ancients, he hasn't been doing well. That's kind of surprising for a spry young man of 300. I believe that's his... Yeah, I believe that's his actual age. It's like 300 years old. When 300 years old you reach, look as good you will not. Grandfather! No. No. This is not our thing. We have to keep to the themes of the game. Grandfather. Nanaki, you're still here. I can't leave you like this, grandfather. It's the duty of my Seto's son to guard this canyon and her people. Listen, Nanaki. I think you may already know. If you have any mission in life, it is not to defend this valley. Look at the withering mountain grass. Listen to the warble of the newborn chocobos. Look always to the eternal flow of time, which is far greater than the span of human life. It will teach you more than staying here in the valley. What you will see will eventually become a part of life's dream. For my children and for your children. So please, Nanaki, go with Cloud and with your eyes and your ears. No, don't look like that. I'm all right, Nanaki. It's a wide world, and you must go out and see it. You may even find your life's mate. You never know. Grandfather. Oh yes. Take this along. I think it will look good on you now. Grandfather! Why did he give me the Dark Magician? No. We're not making that joke right now. Unfortunately, after 300 long years, it's finally time for Bugenhagen to return to the planet. Red 13 is Bugenhagen. Grandpa told me that he's going away again. Away? It seems like he really liked that airship. He told me he couldn't stay still and just zipped out of here. He even gave me a gift. Look. Received limited moon. Wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to give gifts after you come back? Grandpa sure is strange. So maybe we'll run into him again somewhere. Yeah. Maybe. Thanks, Cloud. This is still a very sad scene and goes very well with the theme of death, life, death, and rebirth that a lot of this game goes into. The gift that he gave was Red 13's final weapon, the Limited Moon. I can only presume that this was like the headdress of his father, Seto. I am not 100% sure on that, but I always have loved this scene ever since I was able to discover it in a playthrough, is that Red 13 comes and sees his grandfather in his last moments. And considering the lessons that have been taught to Red 13 due to Bugenhagen in this game, the player even feels sad for his passing. Because he was still like an interesting character to be able to bring along and have additional line of thought from him. Now, after you have the scene, because Bugenhagen taught us how to use it, we can now access the observatory, which is where the master materia was left. Or rather, the huge materia. And that's actually how you get the master materia. Is you go up to these big yellow, red, and green pieces. It is glowing strangely. Get closer. The huge materia emitted a quiet glow. This color, it's the same as command materia. Command materia blend. Maximum level command materia blends with Steal, Sense, Throw, Morph, Death Blow, Manipulate, and Mime. So all of these commands, all in one materia. Maximum level materia has been lost. Receive 1 Master Command materia. That's the other thing, too, is that if you perform the materia blend, you lose all of that mastered materia to make this Master Command materia. Same thing with the magic. Same thing with the summons. So at that point, yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm double checking to make sure I have an extra mime because it's going to be helpful. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this week. When we get back, we will continue on side questing in Final Fantasy VII.